Ezekiel 20. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research. Because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Institute for Scripture Research, ISR. Yah is short for YahWeh, YahWeh, Yod-He, Vod-He. There's no difference. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. Yah is an extremely jealous El. He doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. Excuse me. The letter J is about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity more than 2,000 years ago. That alone debunks Islam and Catholic and Christian religions. And all the ones that came after it, obviously. The reason why it debunks Islam is because Jesus, there's no J in the Hebrew alphabet anyways, was their most quoted prophet in the Quran, and he doesn't exist. So there goes that religion. Catholic and Christian basically at the same time, because they both worship this Jesus, this white Jesus with a halo over his head. The halo is Catholic, by the way. Not only was Yehoshua not white, his name wasn't Jesus. And even if you took out the J and put a Y and said Jesus, his name's Yehoshua, not Jesus. Anyways, y'all please forgive me for having these idols' names come to my lips. Teaching or not. On Catholics, they worship Mary. Praying is a form of worship, so they worship Mary, and they worship the cross, and they worship the statue of Jesus. When you accept the set-apart spirit into your heart, you have to do it on your own free will. So when you get baptized as a child, it means absolutely nothing. Because you have to know what you're doing in order for it to mean something. Ezekiel 19. And take up a lamentation for the leaders of Israel, and you shall say, what a lioness was your mother among the lions. She lay down she lay down among the lions in the midst of the young lions she reared her cubs, and she brought up one of her cubs, and he became a young lion, and he learned to tear the prey. He devoured men, and when nations heard of him, he was caught in their pit, and they brought him with chains to the land of Mitzrayim. When she saw, as she waited, that her expectancy was lost, she took another of her cubs and made him a young lion, and he went about among the nations and became a young lion, and he learned to tear the prey. He devoured men, and he knew their widows, and laid waste their cities, and the land and all who filled it was stunned by the noise of his roaring. Then nations set against him from the provinces on every side, and spread their net over him. He was caught in their pit, and they put him in a cage in chains, and brought him to the sovereign of Babel. They brought him in nets, so his roar was no longer heard on the mountains of Israel. Your mother was like a vine in your vineyard, planted by the waters, a bearer of fruit and branching because of many waters, and she had strong rods for scepters of rulers, and her stature was exalted among the thick branches, and she was seen in her height with the mass of its branches. but she was uprooted in wrath. She was cast down to the ground, and the east wind dried her fruit. Her strong rods were broken and withered. Fire consumed them. And now she is planted in the wilderness, in a dry and thirsty land, and fire went from a rod of her branches, and fire went out from a rod of her branches. It devoured her fruit, so that she has no strong rod, a scepter to rule. This is a lament, and it shall be a lament. Lament. This is a lament, and it shall be a lament. Lament. Lament, and then lamentation. 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 Anyways,